You know, I've written 10 hours of music, and a lot of it was on the radio in the top 40, and it made a lot of money. And I'm not making this video, though, to ask about the money, ask how much money they got for the music. What I am curious to know is how much love did they get for this music? Because as I see it, after all hours and hours of my music went onto the radio, and after I posted the music back onto the internet to show you that it was my music that you've been listening to on the radio, then I expected some people to come to me and help me straighten this out, because I don't see any reason whatsoever to go to them. I've done my part. I've rewritten the music and I put it on the internet, and if it was on the radio, then it's their responsibility, I think, to come to me and get this straightened out. And if it was straightened out, I'm quite sure that I would not be living in such an isolated condition as I am now, in such an isolated and loveless condition as I am now. Now I'm past 50, so I don't need anybody to come and pat my head anymore like I did when I was a child. But we all need love, and we all pursue love. At least we do if we are wise, because we know that it's the best thing that you can get in life. Love, it's better than money. People who are rich pursue love. Their money is not fulfilling enough. They pursue love. Tiberius, the Emperor Tiberius, was the emperor of the world, and it's said that he left his crown to Caligula so that people would remember him with love, by contrast, of course, with this disastrous heir that he left to inherit his crown, Caligula. They love Tiberius by having to suffer Caligula. So that means that he was unhappy, that he didn't have love. Even though he was the emperor of the world and he had everything, all the money, all the power, he didn't have sufficient love to keep him happy. The Rolling Stones, probably one of the most loved bands ever, and they stole my music, and they didn't need the money. They needed the love. They probably are addicted to it now, after all their years in the limelight. So that means that they stole love that was due me, and since I put the music back up on the internet to straighten everything out, what has become of that love? What has become of it? Because certainly if you all focused your love on me the way you spread it out among all these fraud bands that stole my music, I'm sure I would feel profoundly loved here in my little room. I'm sure there would be no mystery about whatever love might exist in my life. It would be quite visible. But I see no sign of any love in my life. If there is any love in my life, it's invisible. And I'm actually bringing this to your attention because it concerns you too. Because it means that your heart has been compromised if you can't find the same love in your heart for me that you obviously had for these frauds who you put into the top 40 with my music. It means your heart has been compromised, and if your heart has been compromised, then if you're someone who believes in the afterlife and believes that God will reward you in the afterlife, you may be in trouble. If you depend on the Christian faith, then you're going to have to fix this problem with your heart before you can find your way to heaven. Jesus said that the kingdom of God is within you. He was saying in so many words that you follow your heart to heaven at the end of your time on earth. This means that you must protect your heart from being poisoned by things like ugly fraud with my music that can poison your heart. If you try to follow that heart to heaven at the end of your time, you're going to be disappointed because you're associating God's love and God's peace with the most hideous fraud imaginable. And it will disappoint you, absolutely disappoint you. So I'm going to make a list of songs that may have caused you to have feelings of love for the person who you thought wrote it. I'm going to let you know that I didn't receive that love, and I'm going to warn you that it's going to cost you spiritually if you're a religious person, because I'm telling you the truth, that I am the owner of my music, and I don't want God to say to me at the end of my time, why didn't you warn them? I'm warning you now. I'm warning you on YouTube. I've been warning you for the last 10 years on YouTube. So now the ball is in your hands. What are you going to do about your poisoned hearts? And here are the songs to look out for that have poisoned you against me. They're all my own music, and if you felt good when you listened to them, then I should feel good for having written them. And I must tell you I don't at this time. I just simply have too much music to cover it all any other way than just to go straight into my iTunes and go take a little piece of each song, and hopefully this won't take up all the space I have left in my camera here. These are songs that would have been loved because they were hits, because they were on the radio, they were in the top 40. So they would have been hits, and I'm playing them here to remind people of what was on the radio 10 years ago. That quite a vast portion of it came from my YouTube account. Having to do it one song at a time is going to use up a lot of time here. So let's get busy. We have All My Money, but today we're talking about All My Love. So I guess my question would be, who got all my love for all my money? And let's just flash ahead here. Sitting there so carefree with all my money. Okay, that's All My Money. Here's the Austin Powers soundtrack. So that means that not only did Blue Rodeo get the love that was due me for my music, but so did Mike Myers as the star of that fraud film, Austin Powers. Here's a criminal hits. Saw you there on the stair. Please for me. Okay. There's the first recording I made of it. Looks like here. A little bit different lyrics in the old. Don't take care, don't play fair, spare me, see through weeping. Okay, that was on the radio, and I received no love for it. We're gonna stick to music here. This was on the radio 10 years ago. And it was very popular. Played several times. At times I need reminding why I am holding out. Not a very good picture. Then as soon as I see you, I just have to believe you cannot see. Okay, that was on the radio. So whoever was playing it was being loved for it. And I received no love for it. This is about my mother. It's my feelings for my late mother. This was on the radio,
Tribulation seizes my
so it must have been popular, and the person who played it must have been loved.
Slipped in with items of ordinary mention.
But I received
Takes
no
a
love.
little bad news. Find out what you had to lose.
And this was on the radio too. So whoever was singing it must have been loved for it.
Once more around.
Because it was popular enough to be on the radio.
Through a barrier
But I received no love.
Waving agreeably, all that it seems to be.
I just got headaches for this. This was on the internet with something like 500,000 views. But I didn't receive the love for it, for this song.
When you see me in the bird of prey,
you know who got the love for this? McDonald Douglas Corporation.
Ashes will be left at the end of the day of my place of glory.
That's who got the love for that song, instead of the author. That's who got the author's love for that song. McDonald Douglas. The Crystalids got the love for this.
To go bonkers.
Let's see. Coldplay got the love for this.
Once you get put right, never a thing. Stay up the whole night, complaining of anything. Taking my pain for an excuse to
Just
cry
have to get
loud.
back into the main body of the song here.
I want to suffer the same delusion. I want to make it past the last insanity.
Sure is hard though to make it past that insanity. That song was rewritten 10 years ago, and I'm still trying to get past it. This is another, I think, song that the Crystalids stole. They got the love.
In the sweetest amnesia, who knows what I do to buy this.
Does it sound like this?
Hope for the silent gave life the least reason. Wonder how luck might open it. See what it means in the sweetest amnesia.
Boy, the radio could sure use that. I don't know who got the love for this, but I understand it was stolen. This song, that's my drawing there to all those very poor picture of this, very blurry picture. Come on, get on to this song. I don't know if someone told me it was a hit, this one. So somebody got loved for this beautiful music. But it wasn't me. Close Rendezvous, Blue Rodeo and Bob Dylan, right? Blue Rodeo and Bob Dylan, right? Sorry. If you loved Bob Dylan and if you loved Blue Rodeo, this music in your heart made it grave error.
Could be that you can see the dazzling displays.
I had to look at the words, you can tell, while I was recording it. Sorry. Oh, was it the Criminalids who got the love for this song that I hear people singing at sports events?
Without a fraction of control.
Whole crowd?
About a crisis
Crowd
from
of 50,000 all singing
yesteryear. A story
words.
better when
All
left
know the words.
untold. I've known for long the game was never mine. I'm pushing my endurance to the line.
Wish I could stay on some of these a bit longer, but there's a lot of songs to get through. We're only in the C's. Oh, the Criminalids got the love for this one, right? But I've since registered it as my song.
Invite me to dinner. I wish I could go. Got me sobbing again, 'cause I'm feeling the pain. Wondering when I won't be able to sing out loud.
Now the Rolling Stones got all the love for this song.
I scrambled for a line. She's already heard everything I could say, at least for the 100th time.
Now that's my guitar solo. Every note. At least we're into the D's now. Let's see here. Doors of Love. I think the Crystalids stole this one, right? So they would have got the love for it.
As I know in your heart what your pride won't depart with the side you decide you'd rather faithlessly hide. And each day
Hey? I wasn't very good at recording my vocal when I first got this Macintosh. I didn't know how to record a vocal in GarageBand yet. Now, easy. Can we resolve this once and for all? This is my song. I wrote it in 2007. Who got all the love for
he
it?
thinks it's okay to use the wrong reason.
I don't care if it's missing the bass and drums. Who got all the love for this
It
song
must
that
have
I
looked
wrote?
easy.
And wasn't it the Crystalids who received the love for all of this? This song about being a starving artist.
Convenience store. Forget why I went outdoors. Too late for a romantic meeting. Too early for drinking or cheating. Always finding less and less to ignore about the ectomorph.
Looks like my face on there to let you know that I'm the author of the song. This is a Criminalids song here too, isn't it, that I wrote that they stole?
Lines that please me.
Whoops, I went into the middle eight, sorry.
I miss the advertising. Continue on adrift. Fall shy of realizing. Take action on the fly. When it gets
That must have been
done,
so
you know why.
uplifting when people heard it on the radio.
Spirit will be hot.
But for me, it almost makes me want to cry every time I hear it. But it must have been very uplifting for the people who heard it on the radio when it was being served to them as fraud. Well, I just have to stick to the ones that I know they stole. This is one that Blue Rodeo stole, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Blue Rodeo, remember Blue Rodeo 2017? Blue Rodeo is coming. Blue Rodeo is coming. Hey everyone, Blue Rodeo is coming. Let's all go to their double sold out concert, Queen Elizabeth Theatre, in 2017, while I live here. They must have been loved for that. And Coldplay must have been loved for this
Thinking
song.
of how much the time is pressing, I can't be your fool.
Because it was in the
I
top
made a
40,
decision.
so that means people loved the song.
There's things I must
They would have
do,
loved Coldplay, but I
and
didn't
you
get any
wouldn't
love.
want
I got
to
no
know
love.
what you're missing. I can't be your fool.
And they're not allowed to play any of these songs anymore. If you catch them, flag them and send them back to jail. Here's a song that Nickelback got credited for.
My advice, a lifetime lost when thieves erase
Lifetime
it,
lost.
emerges
Thieves
again in
erase
this fool's paradise. The pot of gold
gather what I'm
they
singing about?
have us chasing would come at the most unacceptable
Does it not sound as good
price.
as
My
Nickelback?
beauty that needed.
Sounds better than Nickelback to me. I don't know what version you're listening to out there. Here's a Crystalids crime.
The more invisible people I need to hide behind. She shot the past straight through me. I knew the laugh would not last for long.
Forgiveness, of all the songs to steal. Here's a song that Oasis still got all the love for. Oasis.
Do not let the doubt in you get you clouded before you get her.
It's called Fortune. A very popular Oasis crime.
Daylight, stars of the night, relight and then they're gone from her sight.
Here's a song that Criminalids got loved for. They don't even sing it right.
The day may hold along a winding highway painted in gold. In the sunlight,
That's what I looked like when I first wrote it
oceans
in the early
wide,
1990s.
treasures waiting on
Look how much more hair I
the
had.
other side, shining so bright.
But I received no love for it in all the years since I wrote that. Now, going on 30 years now, since I first wrote that. Now here's a song that Phallus, our friendly neighborhood internet service provider, got all the love for.
Found you got nothing good left and you're so overwhelmed.
Phallus,
If you chase up enough, you should please
smell us.
be to the one
The
who's
future is filthy.
friend in me. They were a long way from home.
Yes, and we have this one here, which I heard the radio announcer practically have an orgasm over while she was saying the name of the band that she claims produced it, but in fact all they did was steal it, and they were called the Criminalids. Oh, I mean, sorry, the Crystalids.
Slowing
And that was the Crystalids. Doesn't look like the Crystalids to me. Looks like David Jablonski from Renfrew.
thinking I might.
Here's another Crystalids crime, eh? They actually made me listen to this while I was stacking pallets as a roadie, you know, as if to say, ha ha, we've got your music now and we own you now because you're working for us as a dirty roadie. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. just needed a way to pay my outrageous rent. That's all I was doing here, trying to pay my damn rent. While they were ripping off my music and being loved for it. We're into the H's now. Here's another hit that I didn't get loved for because they needed to make you love a greasy fraud in my place. And then this is how they gather their piles of money, and they can't figure out why they're not happy. God, they're stupid.
Can't speak for long without losing things sounding so confusing, unaware of whether there was ever a care, if things were what they seem to be.
These sound more or less the way I did when I first shared them too. I was into multi-track recording by the time by the end of 2007. It's just that I was doing it on another computer, a different computer, and it was like starting all over again on the Mac. I was doing it on a personal computer, but a Mac is totally different. Heartstrings new, Heretic new. Ho ho. This is my Christmas music that they got loves for. This one being God rest ye moody gentlemen for this one. And this one was Good King Wenceslas, right? Very nice recording. You know that when I first shared it in 2007, I called Phallus for some help for some technical support, and they put this music on their telephone while I waited for service. And when they came on, I said, "That's good music," as if to say, "You have good taste in music because that's my music." But they let on that I was some kind of criminal. A lot of warm love in that. A lot of warm love that got wasted on frauds in that song. I'm mostly sticking to 2007 crimes here. I know that they've been ripping off my new songs as I produce them over the last 10 years, but I'm just sticking with the ones that I heard on the radio myself here. And in almost every letter of the alphabet, we find examples of this. But we're going to have to skip the Eyes and go to Juice, which was played by the Christians, With the old guitar sound, I've since done another mix of this for my new video of this song. Just released this year. I think they left my surfer song alone. Oh, wasn't this stolen by the Shits? This one? Boy, the radio must have sounded so much better then than it does now. With all this artistic sounding rock. That's a pretty old recording though, not very good quality. We'll skip Lingers, it's a new creation, although it probably has been stolen by some other jackass since I wrote it in 2011. Loose, oh there's one that they ripped off, Loose? This one? Let's go to the ending. Let's jump to the ending.
The green fields of tomorrow. to be laid out to fallow. And that's the time that I've no peace of mind to care.
Sounds a little bit too much Guns N' Roses for my taste. But I did write the fucking thing, and it would be nice if I would be the one who got appreciated for it, instead of some jackass fraud. Hey, we'll skip meat hooks because we know none of these idiots can play outside of 4/4 time. Let's go to Mischief, which people were probably looking forward to hearing at the Blue Rodeo concert in 2017.
What surprises hide in horizons, too far off to size,
Hey, Blue Rodeo.
are soon diminished by the mischief on the rise.
Blue Rodeo doesn't know how to write good songs. They only know how to steal them.
It
Too bad it
takes
cost
me
me a quarter
away
of my
to
life
plains of discovery.
to convince people. This is a Criminalids song here about what a misery it is.
Emptier than it seems.
Let's see if I can mimic that. Wait. No,
Now the things that you say that you want in
I
a
can't seem
day
to get the
won't
same
find
expression.
you.
You can really see my face has
Someone
aged,
quiet
since I
instead, where a
first started
moment
rewriting
I
these songs they
can't
stole.
find you.
I've aged 10 years.
Make no
That's what I looked like in 2010.
laying outside
See, I
the
still have brown hair all the way. No gray. No gray yet.
What am I falling out for?
Here's a Criminalids crime again, right here.
Stand tall in morning shorelines, lay down in ripened fields. Look back when there's more time. Remember
I actually performed this
how it
live in 2010.
feels. Waited.
There were only about 5 people there.
Waited in straits untested.
I don't know what the hell, they couldn't come and listen to the author play his own music after they gave so much attention to those frauds. I'm just sticking to the ones that I know they stole. I know they stole this because I saw it on. I saw this on a movie about the rainforest, a documentary from 2007. It's not about the rainforest. It's not about that at all. This song is about life in Skid Row. It's not about the rainforest whatsoever. Not whatsoever. It's a very poor choice for a documentary on that subject.
There's always an effort spent to listen to someone.
Oh, nonchalant here with my poetry illustrations. So this one lets you see Saturday Night Live's crime with my poetry at the same time as it lets you hear Nickelback's crime with my music. It's like the Austin Powers video of my Austin Powers cartoon where you can see Mike Myers' crime at the same time as you see Blue Rodeo's crime. This one is Nickelback and Saturday Night Live. Must have been friends from the show. Oh, is there anything wrong with my recording of this? Does it not rock enough? Causing a depression when you dare to be nonchalant. I think it sounds better than Nickelback myself. And I think this sounds better than the Crystalids who stole it right here.
Comes round asking for favors. I'm already tapped out. My friend gave at the office. It's all there for you to balance out. Nothing more to dispute about. Whatever you expect.
See, that's my spray that I use. And the kind of lovable lodgings. The kind of lovable lodgings that they have for people who put dozens of their songs onto the radio. The lovable lodgings that they have for people whose music gets stolen by rock stars. Demands that kind of aerosol can. And speaking of lovable, was any band more loved than the Rolling Stones? But I guess they got addicted to it because now they need the love that's due me. You know, because their own is not enough for them. So I write a song like this, and then they steal all the love for it.
Where can I try to hide? No one can.
And what a thing to steal from me.
Plenty of love to waste on a life.
I'm sure you can figure out what I'm singing about. Let the offenders run free. So should someone steal the song then? After I finish complaining about this? The Rolling Stones think so. And Taylor Swift also thinks that I should never get any love for my music, but she should get it all. Like in this one that I just rewrote this year.
Chance of I never stood up. Fits into a wicked scheme, dreamed up for.
Sorry about my hair, by the way, in this.
Kind of joke
Looked okay
that
from the
seems to me to be really funny.
Oh yes, and when you were riding the highway home, in your car listening to this song, coming home from work, who did you love in my place? Who did you love in my place? Besides yourself, which is perfectly acceptable. We all love ourselves more than anybody else, but I don't think you were thinking of me at all when you heard that music all those times coming home from your hard job. Okay, Outside is another one that I heard on the radio. Obviously infused with very deep emotion.
Endlessly sending my desperate tune, flailing against an expression.
You can see the book I'm holding up there relates directly to the blog I was writing at that time. I was talking about an author who had gotten his life work stolen and ended up committing suicide. That's his book there that I'm holding up. He committed suicide from having all his work stolen. Like what they did to my music. Bad, pathetic, poison youth. Oh, well, they let me keep Preteen Queen because they lied and said that I had some kind of sex offense. So they thought that that song would help back up their lie. So they let me keep that one. But I just wrote it for a joke. This is another one I'm afraid I have to include because it did get on the radio and it doesn't really, it's missing most of the instruments.
About the conditions,
But you can hear the music.
I'm kind of confused. Without a thing to cling to, reason of no use. I tell her I'll only see her asleep in the corner where she doesn't know I'm there. As my heart goes bare. She's simply magnetic.
Yeah, well, it's a good song actually. I just should have put some more in it, but that was 2010 when I was first learning how to use my Mac. Here's one that I heard on CBC, if I'm CBC.
I hope I see it again.
And they didn't get my name right, frankly. I think they were just checking to see if I could remember I wrote it, so that they could give it to all their jerk friends to lie to you all with. And here's the Austin Powers one. I think I already covered it though, with the Austin Powers soundtrack. Redundant. I don't think they've stolen that one yet by some miracle. Rules rugged. I'm not sad anger. No, that can't be sad anger. It can't possibly be. I don't know what that is. I don't care. Yeah, well, Satellite Sam was probably, I don't know if you remember them watching an episode of Futurama back in 2007, Futurama, and hearing this incredible singer at the end of it singing this song. Oh, that singer was me, and that's what my voice sounded like in 2007, because that's my music. That's actually my recording at the end of that Futurama episode. I wish I would have downloaded it so I could have a copy of it for myself. Satellite Sam ended up at the end of a Futurama episode in 2007. Shambles, I don't know if they've stolen it yet, but I'm sure somebody will probably try. Simple. Let's size. This is the song here that I almost went to jail for in 2010 because the Crystalids were still on the radio, very popular. And this was their first hit. Unfortunately, it was my song. So what Saturday Night Live did was they said, we'll let you have a spot on our show as the guest, music guest, but you have to throw David Skirkowski in prison. You have to throw David Skirkowski in prison for putting this on YouTube and saying he wrote it. And I almost went to fucking prison. I almost went to prison. Just for sharing my own song. Boy, that's when love really becomes dangerous. When misplaced love really becomes dangerous. When it can throw an innocent man in jail. Like it almost did to me because of your misplaced love for the Crystalids at the time. This is another Crystalids crime here.
Soliloquy and hope that my passion won't go out of fashion. Idle my time is spent casting my lot, thinking where life has went.
Look how much younger I was.
That's how to run in a race against one.
I was so much younger back then. It breaks my heart to look at it now. When all I've done in the meantime is just write 10 years of music that they stole from me. Time Special. Hey, Taylor Daft tried to steal Special too, didn't she? And Spellbound. But Spoils, the Crystalids stole that one, right? This one here.
Say in your eyes so clearly, I'm so ostracized. surprised you can even get near me.
Are the words too big in this? Because it was on the radio.
Don't need to recall what's put a wall between us.
So I didn't get any love for that tune. But the Crystalids, boy, did they get loved for it. Substance Success, Sunny Skies, already showed you. Telepathy is another one of their crimes. I don't think it was a hit, so I'm not going to bother with it. Tenseness. Now you see how my vlogs are starting to get mixed up. Here's a very good song from '07 that, gosh, I wish they wouldn't have stolen this. You know, if the radio could just play music like that again, it sounds so alive, wouldn't it? Instead of the way it sounds now, it just sounds dead. With the crap that they're left over with. I was kind of curious to know if Blue Rodeo stole this.
In contact, the stars above have more to offer.
Was this another one of the songs that Blue Rodeo was supposed to thrill you with in 2017?
Prizes to grandly proffer.
I was just about to rewrite it as they came to play their show. Just about to rewrite it as they came to play their show. Tinsel Heaven, beautiful tune. Beautiful words, very nice ballad. Good rock. I saw somebody stealing this in 2007. I can't remember who it was.
In endless procession until he more resembles a cartoon.
Maybe you know who it was. I don't know who it was. I can't remember.
It pays to venerate the great tycoon.
Boy, what a nightmare that they stole this song from me, because it's so scary. Listen to it.
Kneel and pray, merely keeps at bay. Nothing good left inside you. Nothing fine to hold on to. Just the face that God gave you. While the evil inside could be standing beside you.
That's a pity they stole that one too. Now that's a big sound for one guy to make all by himself with his guitar, don't you think? Sounds like a whole band by himself. Underachiever, I know they stole it, but I'm not going to bother. Uneven, I know they stole it, I'm not going to bother with it. Untoward, I know they stole it. But I don't have time for all these crystallid crimes in this little video here. Virtue was stolen by the Shits, right? I saw it on Jay Leno. This one. Oh, I always put it on this.
Told me I'd soon be as good as new.
Imagine my dismay at
Gave it away.
turning on the TV and seeing the Shits. The Shits performing the song on Jay Leno's Tonight Show. When I just wrote the thing. That was how I ended up having a nervous breakdown in 2007 from experiences like that. And I'd like to ask once again, who stole this? Who stole this? Here. Who was that in my video of my song? It wasn't me. And I figured the reason it was on TV was because it was popular. And I figured that if it was popular, then the person who stole it must have been loved for it. I'll just remind you, I received no love for it myself. No love whatsoever for that song. And that looks like I went through everything and covered most of the songs that I've rewritten over the last 10 years and posted onto YouTube. My new fan, I made some modifications to it to make it noisier so that I can have some peace in my room from the kind of people that I have to live with here, like people who need a subwoofer when they live in a fucking room that's only maybe 10 feet by 15 feet and they need a subwoofer. My neighbors, who let me know that while I have no love in my life, there certainly has been no shortage of hate in my life. No shortage. And you know, I have to resort to measures like this because the wire in my headphone broke from having to wear them to bed while this guy with his subwoofer watches TV from like 9 o'clock at night until 12 o'clock in the afternoon the next day with his subwoofer. So without my headphones, this is the only separation I get from it. So while there's been no love in my life, after I shared all these hours of music that was popular enough to be in the top 40, making millions of dollars for people whose names I still don't know. Don't worry, there's been lots of hate, plenty of hate to take its place. If that's the way, if that's what you think I deserve. If you're as twisted now as these broadcasters were when they knowingly committed this crime 12 years ago. From being under their influence all those years, I sure hope there's some chance of repairing the damage to your hearts